We would win if we had Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Anthony Barr is the dirtiest player. If the Vikings weren't healthy, then we would win. Can you tell I've been reading a lot of Packers comments on social media? Hey guys, what's up? JOZ back again with another Vikings vs. Trash preview. So let's talk about this game and start off with the injury report. Now I'm going off of Tuesday's injury report, which is interesting because we didn't practice on Tuesday. It's just something the team has to turn in. So let's start off with the Vikings, starting off with the players that did not participate, and it's not too bad. These are the players that would, in theory, would not participate because that's how I do this. So first off, Jarius Wright, Tremaine Brock, Andrew Sandeo, Riley Reef. Now I am 100% just sit Riley Reef until postseason. I don't think we need him to win the next 2 games. Make sure he's 100% healthy. Get that week by. Give him 4 days off in a row. Get him pretty much 100% by postseason, and let's go. Jarius Wright, he's a decent piece to our puzzle. He catches those third downs all the time, but I'm okay with playing a guy like Stacy Coley to see what he can do with a really good quarterback throwing to him, and see how he can change our offense. Sendejo is okay as well, except I think Anthony Harris is pretty much a toss-up who's better. To limited participation, this is closer to a 50-50, and it's Ben Gedeon, Kyle Rudolph, Mackenzie Alexander, Pat Elflein, and Mike Remmers. Biggest names, some big names on here, of course. Kyle Rudolph, Pat Elflein, very big. Ben Gedeon's another starter and a really big special teams player, and Mackenzie Alexander playing the nickel is a really big part too. And of course, Mike Remmers always has to be on the injury report. I would expect all these people to play if this is a meaningful game, but again, since this is a pretty easy game to win, and I don't think we need a lot of these players to win, I think what we should do is, if they're even close to, questionable or so, I would at least put them on a short leash and maybe only playing half the snaps or so than they would do. And players like Mackenzie Alexander, make sure they're in a substitution role and not make sure they don't hit the maximum amount of snaps. Other players are listed on here, but where it should have had full participation: Emmanuel Lamar, Jerick McKinnon, and Shamar Stephens. So expect those players to all play. So let's move on to the trashiest team in the NFL. The Packers, the injury report. They don't have whether or not they would have practiced or not. They just have the injury, which is fine because they want to practice anyway. So, Devontae Adams, Vince Blabelgel, Ahmad Brooks, Quinton Dial, John Evans, Demontry Goodson, Devon House, Clay Matthews, Lucas Patrick, Nick Perry, and Jake Ryan. So, a lot of big pieces to their defense, pretty much their whole linebacker core. 3 of their starting linebackers are listed on here. And Devontae Adams, I heard he didn't pass his injury protocol, so I would expect him to be out. Otherwise, your guess is as good as mine whether or not these guys will play. This is their injury report, and just because they're in a trash organization, they don't even tell you how likely it is they will play even on their injury reports. There we have it. So now that we have that, let's look at their team stats. We looked at this earlier in the year, of course, and just for the fun, let's look at it again, since my God, they got so much worse. So let's start off. This team's the 3rd team in the NFC, so I guess not having Aaron Rodgers makes them, we're not even worse than us, worse than the Lions. So they're 7-7. Their offense, 17th ranked, 22 points a game. 314 yards a game is 23rd. 206 pass yards a game is 22nd. I gotta assume they aren't even cracking the top 30 with Hundley. Rush yards a game is 107.7. Is 18th, which is okay. That's just below average. Let's look at Brett Hundley and see what he's been doing. On paper, it's not too god awful. So let's look at this. He has 252 attempts. He's completed 161 of those for 1,534 yards for a 63.9 throwing percentage, a 6.1 per attempt compared to Rodgers' 7. He had 8 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. And compared to Aaron Rodgers, in 238 attempts, about 20 less attempts, he's at double the touchdowns and 2 less interceptions. So of course Hundley would have 8 interceptions, 8 touchdowns on the year. He's been sacked 24 times. and a rating of 78, which isn't too bad. That's like the below average to poor rating, so for a backup, that's okay, right? Rushing yards, Jamal Williams is the leading rusher with 116 attempts for 416 yards, a 3.6 average. Aaron Jones, 78 attempts for 5.6 yards. Ty Montgomery, man, is he falling off? 71 attempts for 3.8 yards per carry. For touchdowns, Jamal Williams is 4, Jones is 4 as well, Montgomery is 3. And Hundley has, the thing that he does have on Rodgers is some little bit better scrambling ability with 28 attempts for 207 yards, 7.4 average, along with 22. So they have escapability there. The receivers have shown that they are not Pro Bowl receivers. Aaron Rodgers makes them that good. Davante Adams, their guy that will probably be out, is by far the leading receiver with 74 receptions for 865 yards. His long as 55. He's got 10 touchdowns on the year, so it shows that he actually has some pretty good talent. Guys that don't have very good talent but are on their team, Randall Cobb, 58 attempts or 58 receptions for 586 yards and 3 touchdowns on the year. Jordy Nelson, you show that he is Aaron Rodgers' puppet. 50 receptions, 471 yards, and 6 touchdowns on the year. 6 touchdowns still pretty nice, but man, the guy that's like 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns a year with Aaron Rodgers also doesn't show up on game day when he has a poor quarterback throwing to him. And you tell me that Aaron Rodgers isn't the only part of your team. Defensively, surprisingly about as bad as their defense. I would expect it to be a little bit worse. The 21st ranked defense at 23.8 points a game. They give up 356.4 yards a game is 26. 240 pass yards a game is 24. 116.4 rush yards a game is 20th. So they're all across the board defensively below average to poor. Nothing too god-awful, but nothing even above average. So that's how bad they are defensively. Let's see if they have anybody we need to worry about. Of course, the biggest thing to worry about for the Vikings offense is maybe they'll try to be dirty for us because they have such an idea in their head that we're so dirty, so they might actually try to be dirty and try to take out Case Keenum or maybe Adam Thielen. So I would worry about that. But other players, Clay Matthews, of course, have another good year, 7.5 sacks, and he always seems to get a sack or two against the Vikings. And Nick Perry has 7 sacks as well. So those are the 2 big sack demons on their team. Morgan Burnett's one of the better safeties in the league. As far as interception goes, Demarius Randall has 4, Clinton Dix has 3. And yeah, they have some other guys have some as well. So overall score predictions, it should be an absolute wash, even though we're in Green Bay. So maybe lower the score a little bit. The weather should be pretty bad, so maybe the Vikings won't score as much points as we would like, but I still see the Vikings going up and down their field pretty easily every now and again. But again, bad weather conditions, probably won't be able to throw the ball very well, but they won't be able to throw the ball either. And so that might give them a slight edge because they might be a little more of a running team just because their quarterback can't throw, so he's been running all season anyways. So just because they can use that to their advantage, I think they might keep the Vikings offense off the field a little bit longer than I would like. But let's just go with it, and let's say that we play the cold weather game too well. 23-0. We shut out the Packers in Lambeau. Give me your score predictions in the comment section down below, and we'll see you guys in the next JOZ Vikings video. See ya.